Hello! My name's Bob.
And I'm Eve, and we've just come back from a short trip to Bangladesh, where we visited Dhaka and Cox's Bazar.
In this video, we're going to be sharing our opinion from travelling a country that we're constantly told is dirty, overcrowded and unsafe.
And because of this, if we're being honest, we were a little bit worried about going there. And people say things when you tell them that you're going to visit Bangladesh, like, I'd rather you than me, or good luck. And so we're just going to tell you what our honest thoughts were of this country.
Yeah, we're going to tell you how it is. Bangladesh isn't a typical tourist destination, and because of that, a lot of people don't actually know what's there. So we're going to be sharing our experiences about our whole trip.
Let's get started with some first impressions.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to start. So when we arrived at the airport in Dhaka, we had an international flight, and quite frankly, we were blown away by how non-chaotic the whole place was.
I expected to land and as soon as we stepped outside of the airport, be swarmed by people. This is what I had in my head. No.
Which does happen a lot of the time, we will say. We spend a lot of time in Asia, and normally you see a tourist walk out from arrivals and everyone's like, taxi, 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 and you get swarmed. But
not in Bangladesh.
No.
Not in Dhaka. That was a delight. Is everything I've heard about Bangladesh a lie? Because it is not chaotic at all. Honestly, so they don't let people in the airport if you're not travelling or flying, which helps. But yeah, so that was the first thing. We thought it would be very chaotic, and it wasn't at all. We
really
called
wasn't.
an Uber from the airport to our hotel. The whole process was really simple and easy, pretty much, other than we couldn't pay on card, but that was fine.
Yeah. Actually, I was going to say the actual traffic, again, one of the main things you hear about Dhaka in particular, not just Bangladesh, is the traffic is wild. Yeah. Now, we stayed in the Gulshan area for our hotel, and I kid you not, the journey from airport to the hotel, there was next to no traffic.
Yeah, it was fine.
It was a great experience.
Yeah, and we're not saying there wasn't traffic on our trip, but just first impressions, we expected to be in the taxi for quite a long time, and we weren't. And then we arrived at our hotel, and our hotel was really nice.
Yeah, it was. I have to say, in terms of hotels in Asia, a lot of the time it's difficult to find hotels with legitimate reviews. A lot of them have hundreds and hundreds of fake reviews. So you quite often find that the hotel you booked isn't quite as nice as what you think. But the place we stayed was lovely.
And the staff there was so nice. When we arrived, it was pouring down with rain, and they came to meet us with umbrellas. It was so sweet. I
know. I felt bad for them. They were waiting outside in the rain, waiting for us to get used to Bangladeshi taka. It was fun. From the very moment we landed in the country, we knew we were going to have a really good time in Bangladesh because everything went so smooth, and we're off to a great start already.
Yeah.
I think next we have to talk about the people of Bangladesh. I think we were both equally blown away by how hospitable people were and just how friendly everybody was towards us two foreigners in their country.
Yeah, people were so nice. They were so kind to us, and people were really interested in where we came from. If we had £1 for every time someone asked, where are you from?
We'd be very rich people.
Yeah,
we would be very rich.
But the point is, people were genuinely interested. And although there's a lot of people around, when we're at the markets and stuff, people are very respectful, and they just want to ask you, why are you here? Where do you come from?
I found people to be very, very respectful coming up. And you still get a lot of the, can you take a selfie with me, this and that. But people were very nice about it, which made it a very easy place for us to travel.
Yeah, it did. And when we were expecting so much chaos, it was just really nice to feel welcome.
Yeah. It was. One good story, actually, I want to share, which was a personal highlight for me. We went to a ship breaking yard in Dhaka, and these really nice guys there, just engineers, mechanics working on the ship, gave us a whole tour of the boat. And not only that, they then asked us to eat with them on the boat. And I just think that is so... If you went into a mechanics in the UK, they're not going to show you around the workshop and then invite you for lunch. The hospitality is just next level, isn't it?
So nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
People just willing to share what they have, and
it's amazing.
Yeah. And we also had these two college boys that were
I knew you were going to talk about these.
They were so nice to us. So we met them at like a little tea stall where we had really good tea, by the way. It was like ginger with sweet ginger black tea. Anyway, that was really good. And we were just chatting to them and whatever. And then we went into the fort. Is it the Lagbad Fort?
Lalbagh Fort.
The Lalbagh Fort. And they came and met us in there afterwards, and they'd got some flowers for me, and they'd brought us all an ice cream, like a cornetto type ice cream. So one for me, one for Bob, and then one for our guide, Afridi. And I just thought that is so nice. Like they went out of their way to buy us ice cream and get us flowers.
And it's the type of questions they were asking us as well. They were making sure we'd had a positive time in Bangladesh. They were making sure we were happy in the city. They were just so kind, weren't they? Like so innocent, so kind. But not that innocent, because they skipped school, remember? Okay, you didn't hear that here. But I would just have to say, this is very different from what you see portrayed in the Western media of Bangladesh. I think the Western media is very quick to label Bangladesh as a dirty country, very unhygienic, but actually our experience in the capital city, Dhaka, couldn't have been further from the truth. We had an amazing experience there.
Yeah, Bangladesh was very different in our experience to what I'd seen in the Western media before. Like, one of our best experiences was when we were in Cox's Bazar and we went to the beach for sunset and we got a coconut on the beach, and it was so beautiful.
It was beautiful. It was really, really nice. It
was so lovely, and I've literally never seen on any Western media like the beaches in Bangladesh, but Bangladesh has the longest unbroken sea beach in the whole world.
Which not enough people know, actually. We didn't know until we were in Bangladesh.
Yeah, so exactly.
Share that fact with your friends.
But it was so nice. And then also we went to this coffee shop, and I literally remember before we went saying, oh, I don't know what the coffee will be like in Bangladesh. We went to this coffee shop. They roasted their own beans. They had like proper barista style coffee and also the most delicious cakes. Like, there was so much there that shocked me, and it was just so nice.
It's crazy. Like, you have access to so many great things there. For example, we were eating lobster on the beach in like a lovely beachside restaurant, and it was incredible.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
Lobster on the beach.
I would have to say though, our worst experience in Bangladesh
was the same day.
It was the same day, and we didn't actually have many of these. We found in Bangladesh that people often gave us a very honest price. They weren't trying to rip us off. But there was one time where me and Eve tried to catch a tuk-tuk, or CNG as they're known in Bangladesh, from one spot along the kind of marine drive to the restaurant that we wanted to go to. This distance was probably about 5 minutes. To put it into perspective, we just took a 20-minute ride, which cost us about 150 dhaka. This 5-minute ride, we were quoted up to 1,000 dhaka, which is ridiculously expensive. That is like, I don't know, 10 times, maybe 15 times more than it should have cost. And we could not get any of the taxi drivers to budge. We would go to one taxi driver, they would be like, this much, and we'd say, no. Then we'd go to another one, but then they'd group up and say, no, this is the price. Then we eventually found somebody that wanted to do it for 100, to which we said yes. And then a group of taxi drivers came round him and said, no, no, put the price up, put the price up.
Charges.
1,000? 1,000? Oh, I feel like we're getting ripped off here.
Yeah.
And then he was asking for 1,000, and then in the end, we just walked. So nobody got any business, which is, it blows my mind. It was only around the corner, but
it wasn't even like that much of a bad experience. It was more just like unbelievable. Like we were laughing.
I know, we were
literally laughing.
Because we knew we could walk it, but if we had to get a taxi or a tuk-tuk, I think it would have been a lot more difficult. But that was probably the only bad experience that we had in the whole country.
Was there any... I don't think there was any other bad experiences.
No, we did see a little bit of pollution and rubbish and things in kind of the industrial areas of old Dhaka, but you get that in every kind of capital
we're not
city.
trying to say that there wasn't any like dirt, pollution, rubbish. Like, there was.
It's blown way out of proportion to what it's actually like there in the country.
Okay, this leads us nicely onto the question that everybody wants to know, and that is it safe to visit?
Yes, so as some of you may not know, Bangladesh is home to the most densely populated city in the entire world, which is Dhaka. I have to say, this didn't feel any different in terms of crowds of people, traffic, all that kind of thing than many other cities, whether that's Islamabad in Pakistan, Delhi in India. Like they all had a similar feel, and I don't think this was any worse in terms of chaos that you might expect.
Yeah, exactly. You do have to be careful, as you do in a lot of cities in Asia. Like the traffic, if you're walking along the road, there's a lot of traffic coming by, car horns, all that sort of stuff.
Biryani shop. Oh my goodness, I almost got taken out.
But it didn't feel much different to the other cities we visited, particularly cities in South Asia.
Yeah, I feel like we were actually both quite pleasantly surprised, like stepping out of a hotel and seeing like no one on the street, and we were like, what is this Dhaka? Like, are we in the right country? Because all we've heard is there's swarms of people, but actually it is busy in some parts, but some parts are absolutely fine.
And we were walking around Gulshan, which is known for being like a more luxury area in Dhaka, and there was like car dealerships for like, what were they, like BMW?
Yeah, we saw like BMW, Range Rovers, Mercedes, like all these really fancy restaurants, fancy shops.
That, yeah, you really don't expect. It didn't feel unsafe to be there, but there's a few things. So the tuk-tuks, or CNGs, have cages on them. And we asked our guide that we had one day, like, why this was. And he said it's to stop, like, snatch and grab thefts, you know, where you're just, like, in traffic and people, like, trying to take
we've not
stuff.
actually seen the doors on tuk-tuks, so, like, cages and tuk-tuks at all before.
No. And that's, like, when you first see, like, a tuk-tuk with cages, you think, like, oh, that's, like, a jail cell or something. But it is there to keep you safe. Like London, where we're from, or not from, but like our big city, is like one of the worst places for things like that. So I don't know, sometimes you just need a bit of perspective about
I'd agree.
What's safe and what's not.
I mean, we had no issues. We were walking around with our, cameras, vlog machines, like literally everything with our microphones on, and we never had any issues. I mean, we walked around Dhaka at night, we were around Old Dhaka, we were around Gulshan, Cox's Bazar, all in the evening, really busy places, and not once did I feel unsafe.
I think because the people are really nice as well, you kind of feel like if you were ever in a situation where you did feel unsafe, you could probably like call on someone or something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, I think people would help you out. There's really is like that sense there. Yeah, I think our expectations, or my expectations, were quite low for Bangladesh because of what I'd heard before we'd got there. And when I got there, I was just pleasantly surprised by almost everything. Yeah.
And that takes us to, like, would we go back to Bangladesh? Because obviously we've only been to Dhaka and Cox's Bazar, and I have to say, both of us are very keen to go back to Bangladesh. There's really beautiful areas that we've not visited yet, like Sylhet. We've heard that is an incredibly picturesque place. There's a few things I want to do there, and I think we've got to go back.
I think that Bangladesh has quite a lot to offer.
Yeah, it does.
It is definitely misunderstood country.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did like it, make sure to check out our Bangladesh series.
Yeah, you'll find something you like. We've done a load of incredible things in this country, and we're only going to be adding to that playlist in the future when we come back, so make sure you check it out.
And don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.